And so before I begin this video, I'm sorry, let me let you know that we need your help. We need your help to get the video title prepared for the CCHI, which I will post here on a card and then down there on the links. It's prepare for CCHI. We want to get this video to 100 likes to release the MIP 21, Medical Interpreting Practice 21, which is the first part of the second series that we have prepared for all of you. And if we get that video prepared for the CCHI to 100 likes, we are going to be releasing that video on YouTube. We are going to release it on Patreon as soon as it gets 50 likes. So let's get to it. And today in the morning, I found out that we accidentally added this video to a playlist. So some of you actually got to watch it. It has like 5 views. And one of our viewers, Abad Peña, he got to watch it and he even left a comment. So lucky him. I would say go buy a lottery ticket, or, well, nobody buys lottery tickets anymore, right? Go buy some crypto. Today might be your lucky day. So let's get to it. So I already told you, the link is in the description. I just saw the video before getting on here, and it said that we have 19 likes, so that is 19%. We just got 81 more likes to go. Let's go, let's do it. We want you guys to experience this video. We want to see the feedback. We want to see how hyped you are, to see if you guys are as hyped as we are. So link in the description, and let's get that video to 100 likes. So hello and welcome to Unwind Sessions, where right after my shift I give the highlights of my workday and answer any questions that might have been asked at a previous session. My name is Juan. I am an English, Spanish, medical, video, remote consecutive interpreter with over 4 years of experience, and today is Monday, July 26, 2021. And there's something funky going on with the lights. Today I took a total of 33 sessions, like always, video and audio sessions. There were quite a few audio sessions today, which makes the day quite lovely for me. And then in a video session, I was on hold for a while. I just love this type of days. There was a couple of things, a couple of highlights that I want to talk about. There was one term, and then there was another thing that I was not sure about an interpretation, so I'll share that with you in a little bit. So the definition for the first term, which is, I don't think you can see it. You can see it there. Ischemic steal syndrome, or just ISS. And I would like to point out that when the provider said this, she didn't say ischemic steal syndrome. That I actually found out that that's what it's called online, and she only said steal syndrome. So the definition from ncbi.him.hih.gov, that's a lot of abbreviations, is that ischemic steal syndrome, or ISS, is a complication that can occur after the construction of a vascular access for hemodialysis. It is characterized by ischemia of the hand caused by marked reduction or reversal of flow through the arterial segment distal to the arteriovenous fistula, AVF. So the gentleman was going to get a fistula on his forearm, I believe they said, close to his hand, so that way he could get dialysis, and they told him that he needed to watch out for that steal syndrome. So that was the new term of the day. And I didn't say the Spanish translation from ischemic steal syndrome. It's just that síndrome de robo, and that's just very simple. And I tried looking for another name, but that is like the typical name that they have for that, and they just have like more technical wording, which, like, it is correct, it's like a synonym to it, but I'm pretty sure that's not a precise translation, because we have to follow register. I think that the other translation is like higher register, more technical doctor stuff. So I don't think we would ever use that. So I didn't include it here. So yeah, that was my highlight today. And another highlight is that during this session, they told the gentleman that they needed to do a vein mapping. And when the lady said this, I translated it or interpreted it as mapeo de venas. Now, vein mapping is they just take like an ultrasound and they just look at your veins wherever in your body and they map out the veins. And I said mapeo de venas, but then like after I said it, I thought it was incorrect and I looked it up and it is correct. That is the name for it, mapeo de venas. But for some reason, it just doesn't sit well with me. Like, I don't like how that sounds, mapeo de venas. And I just looked it up, and I think, like, personal choice, me, trazado de venas feels much better, but that is personal preference. Mapeo de venas is the correct term and is perfectly fine, but that is the beauty of language, right? We can color it every way that we like. Some say tomato, and I say tomato, or whatever, how that saying goes. But that's just language for you. But yeah, I mean, and sometimes that happens. I'm constantly looking up words because I think that maybe something sounds better, and yeah, most of the time something does sound better. But that's just personal preference, because I mean, there's a lot of ways to say one thing, right? And that just makes your job much more difficult. So moving on, well, you already know the title of this video, and I feel like I'm including like very, very basic terminology for this family doctor or PCP visits, because when I was doing it, I just wanted to add like the 10 most common diseases, and I wanted to add the 10 top symptom descriptors. But then I decided that I am going to do another video with the 10 most common diseases and 10 more common, most common symptom descriptors for another video. So right now I am just like using terminology that you are for sure going to get in. Almost at least one of these terms is going to turn up in a family doctor's visit, or at least like for sure in 1 week there is a high probability that more than 5 of these words you're gonna get in every family doctor visit. So let's get to it. And the definitions for this were from cancer.gov, Google, englishclub.com, and there's one definition from me because I didn't like the definition that I found on the internet, so I think I gave a more detailed definition. But like always, I will always describe I'll give you a little bit of this description after the definition. So let's get started. Word number 1, family history. All right, and the definition for that: a family medical history includes health information about a person's close family members, parents, grandparents, children, brothers, and sisters. This includes their current and past illnesses. A family medical history may show a pattern of certain diseases in a family, also called a health history. So when a person goes to their family doctor, they are almost 100% of the time gonna get asked about family history. They are going to, if they're an established patient, they're not going to ask them their family history. They're probably going to say, has your family history changed? Because they probably have a medical chart, right, in their medical history that includes all of this information, so they probably just need to update it. But if not, if this is the first time, they are for sure going to be asked what is their family history, right? And the doctor just wants to get a picture to see if there's any risk factor for diseases that might be linked to the genetic line of the patient, right? So that was number one, family history. Number two, medical history. Now, medical history is a record of information about a person's health. A personal history may include information about allergies, illnesses, surgeries, immunizations, and results of physical exams and tests. It may also include information about medicines taken and health habits such as diet and exercise. Now, just as a family history, this is also one question that gets asked a lot at a family doctor. Well, because they just want to get a little bit of information on the patient, right? What medication is taking, just a little bit of background. That way they know if they should stay away from prescribing this patient some medications, or if maybe some of his medical medical conditions are affecting his symptoms in any way or whatever. This is like something very, very important that helps a doctor get like an initial picture of the assessment of what is going on. So that was medical history. And now for number three, which is medical chart or medical record. All right, so a medical chart is a confidential document that contains detailed and comprehensive information on an individual and the care experience related to that person. It is commonly called a medical record. So what is a medical chart? Well, it's a chart that includes your family history, medical history, and any other information that the hospital or the clinic or the medical provider has on you. And if they don't have a chart on you and this is the first time that you are going to the doctor, they are going to create a medical record or a medical chart for you, and you will get asked a lot of questions because they want to get your information right to give you the correct treatment. So that was number three, medical chart or medical record. And number four is a follow-up or follow-up visit. And this is my definition: a visit following the original visit to verify that the treatment has worked, or that the condition has cleared, or anything else that the doctor might want you to come back, right? So a follow-up visit is a visit like where the doctor wants you to come back to make sure that everything is going to plan, right? For example, let's say that you have a rash that you don't know why you got it, and then like you already went and somebody gave you went to the ER, let's say, or the urgent care, and somebody gave you medication, but the rash is not going away, and now you are with your PCP. Or yeah, let's keep it like that. Just there was a short story, but anyways, let's say you go to your PCP, nothing has worked, and he gives you some medication, and he tells you, you know what, this is the medication you're gonna take, but I would like to see you in 3 days just to see if the rash has cleared up or how that medication has been working. And that is a follow-up visit. Very, very important, just to make sure that the doctor's treatment is going in the right direction, or to see if they need to make any changes, right? So that was number four, follow-up. Number five, lightheaded. And lightheaded is a feeling of dizziness and being off balance caused by a lack of oxygen in the brain. Now, I included this one here because when I knew what lightheaded was, but when I had to interpret it to Spanish, I was clueless. So maybe you don't know what it is, and maybe you can interpret it and everything, but I couldn't, so I had to look it up. So that's why I included it on this list, because I think is one of those words that is just so easily, like, probably everybody knows what lightheadedness is, so it's probably one of those words that it's easy to miss and forget that this is one of those words that comes up a lot. And number 6, prescription. Now, a prescription is the correct amount and type of medication needed to cure an illness or relieve symptoms. Now, why did I include prescription here? Because I remember from my training when the trainer asked us how do we say prescription in Spanish. Well, everybody said it wrong, including myself. And of course, like, I already know it and it was easy and I knew it, but for some reason I just had a brain fart at that time, and I didn't remember, or that my brain just didn't make that connection, you know. I still had a bilingual brain, not an interpreting brain. So it just probably didn't make that connection just yet, and that's why I am including it on that list. That is gonna be an important one, right? Most even not visits to the family doctor will end up with a prescription most of the time, so very, very important. And number 7, routine checkup. Now, a routine checkup is a doctor's appointment to check a person's general health. Now, a routine checkup is something that is done not because a person has an illness or anything, but they probably haven't been to the doctor in a long time and just want to see how their blood tests are doing and how everything else in their body looks. Now, a routine checkup is not like a yearly physical. This is something different. A yearly physical is done once a year to check your general health, but a routine checkup, you can go every day to the doctor for a routine checkup, not a problem. But for a yearly physical, it's only once a year. So that is very important as well. A lot of people that just go to get routine checkups all the time. So that was number 7. Number 8, urine sample. So a urine sample is a small amount of the body's liquid waste that is tested for different medical reasons. Now, this is like one of those things when people go to the ER or to the urgent care, most of the time they will tell them to get a urine sample. When they go to the family doctor, it is not as common, but yeah, you will get to see it, especially if the person is ill or they're yeah, I mean, if the person is ill and they're going to the doctor visit to see what's wrong, right? Because of illness, they are most likely going to get they're going to get asked to get a urine sample. Now, this is not a rule. It doesn't happen 100% of the time. But this is one thing that this is like a very simple test. Well, it depends. It can be a very simple test that is done right there in the office, and it gives a lot of information of a patient's health. So that was number 8. Number 9, it is hives. Now, hives are bumps that appear on the surface of the skin during an allergic reaction. Now, hives, I didn't know there was a word especially for hives, but thankfully that was cleared up in our training. They told us hives, and of course when it came up during the first time that I had to interpret that, I was so proud of myself because I already knew that word. Because when we did it in training, I absolutely had no idea that the word hives existed. Now, I knew the word in Spanish, which is ronchas, but hives, I've never even heard of that word. and that is hives. And number 10, rash. Now, a rash is an area of redness and spots on a person's skin, appearing especially as a result of an allergy or an illness. Now, rash, that is something that I did know, and I wanted to include rash here on this list and hives because there is a very particular difference from hives and rash. If we go into Google and we search for the image of hives and the image of rash, we are most likely going to see the difference, or probably not. I should have probably checked this before I made this video. But hives are like bigger, like they're bigger, and they can be like more separated than a rash. Like you could have a hive here and then a hive here and then a hive here, but they're like bigger, like we're talking about like something big that is like just protruding the skin like that, like it, or I don't know how to say it, but kind of like a boil, you know. It's something big, and it's very notorious. And for example, a rash is just like the regular reddening of the skin. Like you could have a big rash spot, right? And or you could have like a lot of little spots, and that is a rash. So there is a difference between a rash and hives. So make sure you know, like, you know the definitions, and that you also know what the translation in your target language is. So that is going to be pretty much it for me today. Just a recap of the 10 words. So number 1, family history. Number 2, medical history. Number 3, medical record or medical chart. Number 4, follow-up. Number 5, lightheaded. Number 6, prescription. Number 7, routine checkup. Number 8, what was that? Urine sample. Number 9, hives. And number 10, rash. Remember that I'll be making more detailed lists in the future for a lot of stuff. So for more medical stuff. And that is going to be pretty much it for me today. Please leave your questions on the comments, and I will answer some of them on the next session. And Friday's session was for one of our viewers, and I believe from the comment that he left there, I believe I made the video session answering his question after after he took the test. So my video came later, and I felt really bummed about that. So from now on, guys, if you guys have to ask me a question and this is time sensitive, then go ahead and put it like in the comments. For example, I got a test in 2 days, can you help me with this question like right away? And I will make sure to go ahead and answer that question in a timely manner. That way it helps you, right, for whatever you need it when you need it. Because if you don't tell me that, it'll just go into the queue, and I will answer it, but it'll just take a little bit longer. So something to keep in mind, guys. I just want to help you, and just go ahead and make sure that if it's time sensitive, go ahead and put it on your question. So yeah, remember, I'll be here every Monday through Friday after work. And remember that we need to get those 100 likes to release a medical interpretation practice video number 21. It is a lovely video. I think tomorrow I'm going to show you just the audio, or I'm going to show you a little preview of that video. That way you guys can have a taste of it. Maybe it'll get you more hyped up, and we can get to those 100 likes as quick as possible. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description and a card somewhere up here. And also remember that we have a Patreon page where with as little as $1 of your support, you help motivate us to create much more content, and we give you access to everything on that page. We give you the medical practice videos ad free. We give you the scripts, we give you answer sheets, we give you vocabulary lists, and much more content. And of course, the most important part is that you will forever win a place inside of our heart. So we love you. A shout out to all of our patrons. We really love you, and we really love all of our subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the video for more content, and have not done so, please don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.